I came to Korea in 1985. I got married in 1995. I came to Korea just to meet and greet the parents. Kasi his parents are against the marriage, my parents are against the marriage. So when we got married back in the Philippines, no one from his family came. So after we got married, he decided to stay. We decided, actually, we thought we'll be staying in the Philippines till I finish school. But since no one of his family members came for the wedding, sabi niya, I mean, at least we have to meet and greet the parents because we're married anyway. So I came here just to meet and greet the parents, and yeah, looks like I've been meeting and greeting the parents for the past 19 years. I had the offer in 2010. Back in 2010, I was working with the TV networks back starting, I think, in 2007. I think I'm not very sure, 2006 or 2007. I started working with the TV networks, and back in 2010 was the local elections. They offered me the seat to be the proportional representative for the Seoul City Council, which I had to turn down. Back then, we had an advocacy. It's for the marriage immigrants to have a voice in politics. And what we wanted to, here in Korea, if you are a proportional representative, it's a very big issue for them who the #1 proportional representative will be. So our advocacy at that time, what we're trying to put into is to have someone, a marriage immigrant, on the #1 spot. Not just on any list of the proportional representation, but actually on the #1 spot. And back then the party wanted me, but they cannot give, they actually specifically said they cannot give the #1 spot, so I turned them down. So I had to turn them down, and 2012 came when they asked me to be a part of the proportional representation for the national elections. That's when I actually accepted the offer, because I was about to turn it down. But a lot of people has been telling me someone's going to do it anyway, and you can't really just give up on what you believe in. So I actually accepted the offer, and here I am. Actually, proportional representatives here in Korea, you have to actually represent a certain sector of the community, a certain sector of the society. And as for me, I represent the growing number of the immigrants in the society. As of now, the numbers are, they say 1.5 million, but that will be for the foreigners. 1.5 million, or 3% of the population, are actually foreigners, but that doesn't include in the count those who already changed their citizenships to those who already changed to Korean to be a Korean citizen. So there's a lot more, and I represent the growing number of the immigrants here in Korea. So most of the advocacies, or what actually people would actually want me to do, is to push on policies regarding multiculturalism. But what I've been looking forward to, what I've been working on ever since before I even came into assembly, is to change how society looks at international marriages, and how the society looks at multiculturalism. When I first came here in 1995, people were just curious of what international marriages are, or just plain curious of foreign people. Hindi kasi ordinary Korean people had the opportunity to travel abroad starting back early 1980s lang. So hindi pa mahaba yung time nila na they had experience with foreigners. And Korea actually shows them, I mean, prides themselves in being a very homogeneous society. So ayan, hindi sila sanay sa outsiders, kumbaga. Back in 1995, yun nga, curious lang sila, magtatanong sila how I met my husband, how I got here, and everything, all of those stuff. Pero because of the low birth rate in Korea, it's actually the lowest in the world, 1.2. So it's the lowest in the world. The government is actually looking for things, looking for ways to solve this particular problem. And what they noticed back then is that men from the rural areas are growing old. You know, they're being old bachelors without having, no Korean woman wants to be married and to stay in the rural area. Everyone wants to be in the city and everything. So naiiwan yung mga, kumbaga sa atin, matatandang binata sa probinsya until some local government units actually thought of, you know, international marriages. So that was the start. Parang it was a project of the local government unit to help people or help old bachelors from the rural areas to get married to foreign brides. It wasn't a big issue back then kasi agencies or matchmaking agencies in Korea, within Korea, is legal. So kahit mga Koreans, they're using matchmaking agencies to find people to get married with. So it's culturally and by law, it's okay. Nagkaroon lang tayo ng problema because other countries where the brides are coming from, matchmaking agencies and these international marriage agencies are illegal. So nagkaroon ng problema and it started at that. But yun nga, it became one of the projects of the local government units. Thus, back in 2000, early 2000, you can see the influx of a lot of foreign brides into Korea. That's when the society started to change. Noon, when I first came here, you're gonna see like one of me here, one of me there, one of me there. So it's not a big scare for them kasi hindi nila nakikita. You're almost invisible to them. Pero back 2000, early 2000, I mean, it's in a matter of years, ang dami nung pumasok. So later on, a few years after that, you're gonna find a lot of problems coming in, like especially they're gonna just meet for a week. The longest they could meet is for a week, and then magpapakasal kayo agad. So you're gonna actually you're inviting trouble kapag ganun eh. Kasi kahit nga yung mga Koreans sila nga nagdi-divorce di ba? Even ano pa if you don't understand the language, if you don't speak the language, if you don't understand the culture of a particular country, tapos doon ka magpupunta to get married, and you don't even know the person you're getting married into. So lumalabas na yung problems. And lumalabas sa TV. Napapalaki sa media, thus nagkakaroon ng kumbaga tinawag nila bigla na the international marriages is going to be a social problem in the future. Tapos most of the multicultural families are living below average. So isipin nila they are just beneficiaries of welfare. So gagastos na lang naman ang gobyerno. And it's nagiging negative. All of the views on multicultural are being negative. So back when I was here, it was like, nung bago pa lang ako, it was like okay, but later on, the negative views is getting higher. You can find a lot of on the internet. You can find a lot of e-groups or cafes, as they say here in Korea, against multiculturalism. Anti-multiculturalism groups are spreading. So makita mo yung change eh. So the negative view of the people, I think we have to do something. We have to do something to at least better the negative view of the society itself regarding multiculturalism. Kasi as far as I'm concerned, as long as Korea doesn't close its doors na walang makakalabas at walang makakapasok, multiculturalism is going to settle. International marriages is going to grow. So there will be a lot of interactions between Koreans and foreign people. So what I'm actually looking forward to is to better our projects to better the perception of the society as a whole regarding multiculturalism, and to have have people accept and think and at least maglessen yung negative views regarding multiculturalism. So I'm working on projects and policies regarding the said regarding multiculturalism. Of course, hindi mawawala yung mga basic stuff for the marriage immigrants, especially for the women na nandito na hindi pa marunong mag-Korean. My main problem with the policies, with the government policies before, is that para siyang, I used to call them first aid bandages. Na they see something, nagkasugat, they see it bleeding, you just, cover it up with a bandage. Tapos, pag nagduguli, i-cover mo ulit ng bandage. So, wala silang long-term plans with regards to multiculturalism, international marriages, and it's not gonna work. it's not going to work, and you're going to have second generation and third generation of this multicultural families. So I'm looking forward to having, wala kasing, Korea is not acknowledging itself as an immigrant country. So wala kaming immigration agency. So what we want to do is not only, if immigration agency is actually impossible, what I want is to have a commission, to have a committee which will actually work on everything regarding immigration, the multicultural family, and long-term plans, long-term goals for a multicultural Korea. Actually, ang laki nung difference eh. When I was in TV, when I was doing good in the movies, when I was on TV, everyone was like all praises. I mean, she speaks good Korean, she lives with her parents. It's a very, very big thing kasi medyo macho society ang Korea, and the eldest son is supposed to take care of the family. So hindi, pag nagpakasal yung eldest son, so yung mag-aalaga ng family is automatically the wife. And I'm living with 4 generations under one roof. So it's a big thing for them. And the image, that's the image that I had back when I was working with the TV network. So positive masyado lahat ng responses, positive masyado lahat ng sasabihin ng mga tao sa'yo. Everyone applauds you, whatever it is that you're doing. And then suddenly you get into politics, and just like that, isang turn lang, and then isang iglap, ayun, wala na. Negative na masyadong tingin ng mga tao sa'yo. So, yun yung sinasabi ko na may pagka-double yung yung expectations ng Korea. I mean, kahit ngayon when I do my lectures, I actually tell people about a story tungkol dun sa kapitbahay namin. She was so against the fact na my husband is getting married to me. So, lagi niyang kinakausap yung mother-in-law ko na, why are you letting your son get married to a foreigner? So against dun siya sa idea. But later on, as time went by, nagti-TV ako and everything, and she's just looking at all of the improvements and all of the advances that I'm doing with my life. Sabi niya minsan sa akin, she thinks it's okay to get married to a foreign bride. Sabi niya kasi they take care of the family, when they teach the kids, another language, and they think the kids will have a better edge in the society later on. So as a joke, I actually asked her, I remember yung youngest son mo hindi pa kasal, di ba? Sabi ko, so I have a lot of friends from different countries. What particular country do you want? Sabi ko, it was a joke. And she was like, no way. Yung anak ko, he's gonna marry a Korean. So ganito yun. They understand here the fact na this is getting to be a globalized country. Pero back here, pag sa akin, pag personal na, it's not gonna work on me. It's okay lang sa ibang tao, but not on me. So parang ganun pa rin yung way of thinking nila. But as I've said, during my first interview, pagkatapos when I was elected last year, during my first interview after talagang malaki na yung naging gulo, because of the negative issues that went out. During my first interview, yun yung sinabi ko. I mean, at first, I was really shocked na ganito kabilis yung change ng tao, na one day they were applauding you, the next day talagang parang you committed the biggest mistake of your life. And then, but a few days after that, I realized na I received a lot of love, a lot of trust from a lot of people here in Korea as I lived my life here before I became a politician. So I don't think it's enough for me to turn my back to a country, to Korea, or to a society who has been with me through my tough times, actually, to a lot of people. So a lot of people has been sending me messages and emails, cheering me on. So I think yun yung nakatulong. I mean, the belief, my belief sa mga tao, to all the people that's who's actually supporting me. To even yung mga minsan nga these days, I was asked the same question nung pagpunta ko sa isang, I think it was Akbayang Pinay. It's a group of Filipino women dito sa Korea. So I went once sa meeting nila, sa kanilang general meeting, and one of the members asked me, paano mo nakaya? Paano mo nakaya yung lahat? Kasi I've been reading all of the stuff from the internet. Talagang, kasi she understands Korean, so mas matindi yung dating sa kanya. So, paano mo nakaya yung lahat? Sabi ko, happily I received a lot of love, and I believe in a lot of people. I think that's enough to make it through all of the hardships. And mahirap kasi, yun nga Misa, oo nga, you believe in us, parang something like, yung mga comments nila, nagkaiyakan pa kami. Sabi ko, I've never cried when I discuss about how difficult it was. Pero at that particular moment, it's the first time na kapwa Pinay yung nagtatanong sa'yo kung paano mo kinaya yun. And talking to them, sinasabi mo yung the whole stuff you're telling the whole story in Tagalog, it felt different when I was telling it in Korean or in English. So parang nandun yung mas nandun yung feeling na a lot of people actually cares about you. Sabi niya, kami din nasa likod mo, nandito rin kami. I mean, look at us. So looking at them, I mean, I think they are the reason why I managed to get it through, and I'm gonna manage to get it through kasi hindi pa rin natatapos yung mga issues. So it's difficult. It's difficult to be the first. Kasi ako yung pinakauna na, not only pinakaunang Pilipina, but non-ethnic, naturalized Korean na part non-ethnic na part ng member ng National Assembly. So nandun talaga yung kasi parang may isip mo, kami nga na Korean, dito pinanganak, dito lumaki, hindi nga kami makarating sa ganyan na status. Why you? What's different? So parang marami pa rin yung mga negative effects, and nakaka-depress nga minsan when something happens, like kung magkakaroon ng problema when a foreigner commits a crime in Korea, parang kasalanan mo lahat. Lalabas yun sa newspapers, lalabas sa internet, parang sasabihin, tamo, nilagay nyo yan dyan, tamo yung nangyayari sa country. So it's a difficult job, but honestly, I have a lot of people, when a lot of people is rooting for you and cheering you on, actually kayang-kaya mo to get over it. Thankful. Tsaka talagang yun yung parang at least nagbibigay sa'yo ng lakas to go through another day. When I was just elected, isip ko talaga na the main thing na nasa isip ko, kasi people actually look at me and say, how well does she know the Korean society para maging isang lawmaking body. So iniisip ko noon, I'm just gonna sit on my desk, study a lot, do a lot of policy studies and everything. And then I realized na nung lumabas ako one time I had this story during my first month as a member of the assembly. A particular NGO group asked me to one of their events and say a few words. So when I arrived at the event itself, nagtaka ako kasi tumayo yung president ng NGO group, and then a few minutes later, meron siyang hinihila na guy na pinaupo niya sa tabi ko. So I thought, okay, akala ko he's someone important. And then when I asked me kung bakit siya nandito, ang sabi sa akin is, he lived in the Philippines for 10 years. So, yes, okay, nice to meet you, sabi ko. So why are you here? To translate. Yun sinasabi sa akin, to translate, kasi marunong daw mag-Tagalog and marunong mag-English. Sabi ko, marunong ako mag-Tagalog, marunong ako mag-English, and marunong ako mag-Korean. So, do you want me to translate for him instead? Doon ko lang na-realize na ang baba ng expectation nila sa akin. May stereotype sila eh. This is an immigrant woman. This is a marriage immigrant. So, meron silang stereotype na, ay nako, kahit ba anong galing niyan, hanggang dyan lang yan. When they look at you, parang makikita mo na you go into a room and they will say, she's a member of the assembly. And you say, okay, hi. Parang gano'n, hi. Upo ka, sit down. Parang gano'n. So I think, sige, siguro, hindi talaga siya mahilig sa politicians. That was what I thought. And then suddenly another member of the assembly, a Korean member of the assembly, comes in, and talagang tayo siya and bows 90 degrees, gives out his hands and gives out and says his respects. So sabi ko, okay, that felt different. That wasn't good. So parang meron silang uupo sila na nakaganyan. Okay lang, parang sabihin siya, di ba? Okay maging member ng assembly sa atin, maganda. Ano tawag niya? Parang sinasabi na siya, parang may particular word sa Korean na sinasabi nila na parang, umasenso ka na. Parang ganun. Something like that. Something to that effect. So sabi ko, this is not good. So ang gagawin ko, what I did was, sabi ko, hindi ako pwedeng maupo lang sa desk ko and do policy studies. I have to go out and show people and talk to people, show people what I can do. And yun yung naging start na I actually went out a lot. Tapos nung, dun mo makikita yung difference eh. Kasi I start to talk to them in Korean. I start to tell them my advocacy. I start to tell them the things that I do and what I believe in. Makikita mo yung changes eh. From ganito to, parang gano'n. Parang makikita mo na yung you're gaining the respect of the people. So that's when I realized na kailangan kong lumabas. I have to go out there, I have to meet a lot of people. I have to tell them who I am and what I can do. And they have to see it for themselves for them to believe. Ngayon nagbabago na yung mga opinions, and they have like very good opinions of me. Pag lumalabas ako, they know who I am and what I can do and what I do. So yun yung pinakamasaya na part na sa akin. I think, okay, for the past a year and a half, yun yung pinakamahirap na part sa akin eh. For people to get to know what I think and what I can do. Ngayon, I have 2 years and a half, remaining 2 years and a half sa term ko, because it's 4 years. And now I think I can concentrate more because I have more people believing in what I can do and believing in my advocacy and believing in my advocacies and believing na I can do this. So with them, mas naging thankful na ako, mas naging madali na sa akin yung transition to politics. Being a first in South Korea, the first immigrant member of the assembly, parang it's a big challenge for me already. It's a big responsibility for me already kasi nga whatever I do, it will actually be the result of kung magkakaroon pa tayo ng pangalawa, pangatlo, or pang-apat. And when I heard that I'll be given the award, I thought, okay, this is another responsibility. I'm actually taking it as a challenge, as a responsibility given to me to be better, to do what I can do better, and I will take it as a challenge to not forget, as a challenge and as a reminder. I think as a reminder of my roots, to keep my feet on the ground, and as a challenge for me to continue to push through to the betterment of whatever it is that I believe in, and for a better society. I started working as an advocate of multiculturalism in South Korea because of my kids. Because I wanted to make sure that this society will be a better society. Kahit na 0.01% lang, as long as it will be, I wanted to make sure that I'm putting in my 2 cents, I'm putting in everything that I can do to make this a better society for all of the children of that this society is gonna have. And looking at my kids, I mean, it's a mother thing. It's a mother thing, but I'm pushing forward. So hoping na this is gonna be a reminder for me to stay strong, to keep my feet on the ground, and that a lot of people is believing in what I can do and acknowledging what I'm gonna do in the future too. Every time a lot of people asks me how I did it, how I made it through as a marriage immigrant in South Korea, I always tell them na you just learn how to respect people. If you learn how to respect one's culture, you're gonna gain the respect. And for one thing talagang sinisigurado ko, if you actually want to live in Korea, if you want to actually have a better life in Korea, learn Korean. It's one thing that it's one thing na hindi matatanggal sa'yo. You're gonna keep it. It's gonna be a great asset for you. It's gonna be a great asset for you, and it's gonna be a good way for you to show people how you understand and how you respect the culture itself. The most important thing of all is not to lose confidence in yourself. Believe in yourself, believe in whatever you can do. Don't let other people tell you you're lesser than you are. Because no matter what you are, kahit part ka ng minority dito, wherever you are, part ka ng minority, and people, being a part of minority, magiging mababa ang tingin ng tao sa'yo, but never lose confidence, never lose trust in yourself, at wag mong iisipin na hindi mo kayang gawin ang kayang gawin ng majority, the bigger crowd. So it's not a problem being a minority. It's not a weak thing being a minority. It's actually a challenge. Being a minority is actually a challenge for you to do better and to show them that you can do it. And kayang-kaya ng mga Pinay yan. As far as I know, there's a lot of, marami akong na-meet from other countries, but you're not gonna see the confidence that Pinays have. I'm not gonna say na politics lang yan eh. I think the most important reason why I am where I am right now, I think because being optimistic, it's one of the Filipino traits. Na a lot of people actually say bahala na, the bahala na trait can be a plus and a minus. But actually, in a society like Korea, na the competition is really so tough. Na everyone is stressed out with all of the things, with being on top, with being number one. The bahala na trait, being optimistic, so okay, just giving it, kung ano man ang mangyari, optimistically, kahit na masama yung naging result, you actually know how to, being a Filipino, I think yun eh, you actually know how to look at the cup half full rather than half empty. So the optimism, I think that's the optimism, at saka yung pagiging masayahin, actually. Pagiging masayahin na Pilipino, that you can actually laugh things off, you can actually just smile through every time you stumble, you can actually just stand up and laugh it off. So it's one of the Filipino traits that I think that actually helped me through everything that I've been going through here in South Korea. So no matter kung anong hirap yung dinaanan mo, you have the optimism, you have the ability to laugh it off, smile through everything, sa lahat ng butas on your way. It kind of helped me. It kind of helped me go through everything that I'm being, not only just being a politician, but being in every part of the society of South Korea.